Hey frequent flower subscribers, it is Sarah Lobu with Main Street Florist, and I'm bringing you another tutorial to design with your bouquets that you received this month from us. So this month you received some really unique and just stunning carnations. You're also getting some Hypericum berries, and then you are also getting sword fern. So let's talk about carnations. Pretty much anytime I make a video on the internet talking about carnations, people have very strong opinions about them. I also have strong opinions. I love carnations. And let me tell you why if you're a hater. Slow down, just watch. If you're a hater, they come in so many colors. And check this guy out. So this variety, let me double check the name here. So this variety is called, Tristan, what are these carns called? This variety is called Metallica Rose. So it has this sort of shimmery pinky purple color, but everyone is different. And then look at this one. Just kind of didn't want to follow the rules. This little like stripe of white in it, I'm obsessed with it. Carnations are so long lasting. They just, I don't know what could make you hate them. I think the assumption is that carnations are just an inexpensive flower. Well, let's be honest. It is 2025. We are in a world facing tariffs that these are imported from outside the United States. There is no such thing as an inexpensive, cheap flower anymore. They're all a little pricey. And these are uniquely bred to just be special, and the colors are unmatched. We can't find other varieties of flowers that have all the varieties that carnations have. They are still very affordable when it comes to flowers, when you're comparing them to what our prices are now for roses and hydrangeas and all the things, and they're gonna last 3 times as long. So give carnations a shot. The other thing is there's lots of fun things you can do with carnations if you don't love this traditional look. One example is you can fully open it. So anytime your carnations come in a little bit tighter, know that you can just gently open them. You can actually even pull back on some of the green here to really open it up big and full. And you can even pluck out the centers. Oh, I just snapped its head. That's okay. We're using her as an example anyways. You can pull out the centers to give the look of almost like a lisianthus. How fun is that? So carnations, there's a lot to love. All right, you've also got some Hypericum berry. You are going to want to strip off any of these leaves that it has. Typically the berries last a lot longer than these leaves do. Even sometimes these smaller leaves will start to age before the berries do. And we've got a couple of different colors. I think we have red and white. There might be some corally pink and some peach, and the red and white are huge. They look like grapes. So this is beautiful, beautiful Hypericum berry that you'll be working with today. And then sword fern. And of all the products we have here today, just so you're aware, the sword fern is the only one grown here in the United States right now. Depending on the season, depending on what growers have availability, a lot of the flowers that come into the United States are imported. By a lot, I mean about 98% of all flowers sold in the US are imported. Now, we have seen a movement of more local growers, but it's very, very seasonal. And so we try to use local growers when we can, but a lot of what it depends on is the demand. You know, when they have a lot of crop, are we able to move those flowers? And then, you know, just the availability. So this is sword fern. This is grown in Florida. So this is a locally sourced. Sword fern's really fun. You can leave it as is. Anytime what falls below the waterline, we want to strip that foliage off. But we can also do a little editing and just take out a few leaves at a time. Kind of doing this with intention that we want to edit this down to look unique. So what I'm doing is sort of removing groups of that foliage. Can you see that? So that it really just kind of gives it a more modern feel and just a different feel to it. I'm actually gonna take off the ends. And just a fun little way to change up the leaves. And then also this is very flexible, very pliable. You can make loops of this. You could then take wire and bind it. Sword fern's really fun, but there's a lot you can do with it. Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna show you just a simple vase that we're gonna do today. So when you're choosing your container at home, with these flowers, I would look for something with a narrower mouth. You don't want, this is a flower pot, but you don't want something with a really, really wide mouth when you have just about 10 stems of flowers. I'm working with a 10 stem bunch, so I think we have 7 carnations, 3 Hypericum, and then maybe 5 sword fern. But when you've got a really wide mouth like this, it's very hard to get all your flowers to stay in the position that you want. If you work with something with a narrower mouth, so here this is kind of like 4 by 2, even something even smaller might be perfect. I've got clean water in here. I've added my flower food. Now when I'm fully done with this arrangement, I will raise up this water line. All right, I'm gonna start by placing my sword fern. So I'm gonna remove any of these lower laterals. I tend to design asymmetrically, meaning higher on one side, lower on another side, or that the sides don't match, asymmetrical. Typically, if you are doing an arrangement, and this might look a little bit different on screen to you than what it is in person, when you're viewing the front of the arrangement, you want it to be taller on the left, lower on the right. Naturally, we read left to right, so our eye just picks that up visually, that's more pleasing to the eye. So if you're going to do something asymmetrical, taller on the left, lower on the right. I'm gonna give all my stems a nice clean cut. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to leave my greenery taller on the left, which again might look a little bit different to you in the camera, and lower on the right. And I've got kind of 3 up high, 2 down low. As I'm placing them into my vase, I am crisscrossing my stems, creating a grid that's gonna hold my flowers in place. If you've watched videos before from me, I sound like a broken record, but it's pretty important if you're first starting to design to understand that concept. I'm gonna go in with my Hypericum and actually kind of create a low base of my Hypericum. It is going to help with that grid kind of to fill in the lower part of this vase. Then next, I'm gonna go in with my carnations. And again, I'm thinking about higher on the left, lower on the right. You can measure against your vase kind of the height that you want it at and cut your stem accordingly. I don't love, so sometimes the end of sword fern will kind of start to wilt before anything else. So I'm just gonna pluck off those little pieces. Now I'm starting to move around my vase. Again, still placing my stems at the angles so that I'm adding to that grid. Started with some of my lower ones, and then now I'm adding a little more height that I have more stems in there to keep them in place. Notice how my first guy didn't stay, and his head might be a little broken. I think I need to replace him. Look at its sad head. We need a new one. We're just gonna pretend like she's just fine, so that I don't have to run back to the cooler for you guys. So you get to see the idea here. I realize I'm arranging in the store today. I'm sitting on my new favorite farmhouse table. It's a little busy in the background, so it's harder for you guys to pick up on the arrangement. I came in this morning, and normally when I shoot these videos, I shoot in our basement here at the flower shop. I've got a little background down there and all my lighting set up. We had a little bit of water in our basement this morning, so I had to make do and move up here, which is totally fine. It's got good lighting, it's a new space, it's new, exciting. A little harder for you guys to see the arrangement, but I'll do a final shot kind of on a solid background for you guys. So this is our simple arrangement. And I would say if you want a more full look, if you want more foliage, now is a great time to go forage in your yard. Lots of things available that you can cut and include. If you've got other blooming plants, you could do that as well, or blooming flowers like peonies, or you still have iris that are hanging in there. It's a great time to cut those and sort of use those in your bouquets as well. I hope you enjoy and appreciate these carnations, and we will see you next time.